So this is the Thursday, May 7th, 2020 meeting of the Berlin Capital Planning Committee. As a preliminary matter, please note that this meeting is being recorded and that some attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please also be aware that other folks may be able to see you. Take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by said recording. So this is Anna Crane. I'm the chair of the Capital Planning Committee. Permit me to confirm that all members and all persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me prior to me calling this meeting to order, which I did already. So Capital Planning members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. So Anna Crane, I am present. John Solera?
I am here.
Okay, and can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, Eloise, in theory, is here?
She can raise her hand, and she has already been doing that remotely.
Okay. Really?
Yep, and her hand's up
Just
right
raise
now.
your hand.
Yep.
Okay. That's interesting. Why is it not showing up for me?
If you hit on the list of participants at the on the bottom of the screen, you can see. Ellie, hit your hand up again.
Oh, I got it. Thank you, Eloise. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, so back to and Eloise and then Michael Ginsberg.
I'm here.
You want to start your video?
And then staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Margaret Nartzowitz, I'm not sure I've ever pronounced your last name.
Yeah, that's good. Affirmative.
Okay. Oh, and Ken Clark. Hi. And Thomas Galvin, our police chief.
Hi.
Hi. Okay. And I'm assuming you guys are all anticipated speakers. Margaret, are you an anticipated speaker?
When am I not?
We anticipate your speaker.
I'll mute myself.
How about either of the chiefs? Are you guys just attending?
Attending, but I also had some information I want to pass along about something to add to the capital plan and some developments we've had with our public safety radio system.
Perfect. That sounds great. Okay, so with the quorum together, I call this meeting to order again at 7:08 on Thursday, May the 5th. So I'm going to do an introduction to the remote meeting. This open meeting of the Berlin Capital Planning Committee is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. Specific information and the general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and/or parties with a right and/or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the Town of Berlin website at townofberlin.com. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely, provided reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. While no in-person attendance of members of the public is permitted, every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite our best efforts, we will post on the town's website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. The standard public comment portion of this meeting will accommodate limited public comment. For this meeting, the Berlin Capital Planning Committee is convening using the Zoom platform as posted on the agenda, identifying how the public may join. The public is encouraged to follow along during this meeting using the posted agenda unless I note otherwise. Supporting materials that are available this evening to members of the Capital Planning Committee can be made available to the public by request. We are now turning to the first item of the agenda. Before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. I will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, I will invite each council member by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Council members and speakers on the agenda, please remember to mute your phone or computer when you are not speaking. Please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any response, please wait until I yield the floor to you and state your name before speaking. If members wish to engage in conversation with each other, please do so through me, taking care to identify yourself. To the extent that our technical capability allows, public comment will be permitted during the public comment portion of this meeting as follows. Attendees' phones and other devices will be muted unless they raise their hand and are recognized by me to speak. I ask each member of the public who wishes to speak to identify their name, and I will afford each speaker time to ask a question or make a brief comment. Finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. Okay, so our agenda for today involves a call to order, which we did. The previous meeting minutes, I don't know if Eloise has minutes to approve. If she does not, we can skip over that option. I'm guessing not. I don't see her raising her hand, so I think she's probably done. Okay, our next item is the policies and procedures that we wrote approximately a year or so ago. Keep postponing approving them. I'm going to make a motion that we postpone to approve them yet again and leave them on the agenda for next time. Any volunteers? Everybody's so quiet.
I second.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know how to raise my hand.
Yeah, there's a button somewhere to raise your hand. Okay, so I'm going to call myself Anna Crane for this vote. I say aye. John Solera, what say you?
Aye.
Okay, and Michael's non-voting, and Eloise says nothing.
You just raised her
Oh,
hand.
you just raised your hand, so I'm guessing that's a aye.
There you go.
I heard aye.
Okay, perfect. Okay, moving on. So now we're on to Margaret. Discussion on the capital items and the warrant.
Okay, this should be really, really quick. The first thing I want to show you is that updated spreadsheet of funding sources, uses, and balances that you had looked at before, and it was revised. So can you all see this?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm just going to go down. I'm just going to go down the funding sources. So you'll see the starting balances, you'll see what's on the town meeting warrant, and you'll see the ending balance. Okay. So, and I need you to let me know if something requires a correction based on your last meeting. So free cash, starting balance this year was $1.2 million, $1,210,732. That's right here. You left the 23 Linden parking lot reconstruction on because that is partially grant funded, and the amount that's required from free cash is $205,000. 75,000 of that will be reimbursed later. So the ending balance after using the free cash at the annual town meeting will be $1,005,632. This is really, really good that this balance is left, because with COVID-19, we need to be able to hold on to our cash reserves because this is time for contingencies. The next is Highland Commons Public Safety Mitigation, and the starting balance in that, including the small balance that was left from the prior year, is $639,178.14. I believe, I think at your last meeting, you did vote to reduce the amount on the ladder truck from the payoff amount to the pay down amount.
Yep.
So that has been reduced from 235,601 down to 119,912. The self-contained breathing apparatus is still on, with a total of $59,560. The fire department's personal protective equipment is still on at $38,640. Police vehicle replacement is still on, and that's $53,000. And the video security system upgrades is still on, and that's for $20,000. And I still absolutely support capital planning committee's recommendations on these, that they remain in the capital budget on the annual town meeting warrant. The most that could be done, if for any reason these are recommended to be pulled off or deferred, is that they're just going to have to come back later from the same funding source. So I support your recommendation that you made. I forgot to go back up here. I just noted that the highway hot top is on hold or deferred to a special town meeting. And the contracted tree removal, you also deferred to a future special town meeting. And finally, you reduced the $125,000 that you intended to put in a capital stabilization fund. You reduced that to $100. Okay. The next one is down here a little bit, prior capital funds. So most of the total in the prior capital funds is intended to go to the Berlin Memorial Schools capital assessment. The capital assessment totals $120,000. The starting balance in the prior capital articles is $115,541.17. So the total, the starting balance doesn't equal the amount of the capital assessment. So based on all these amounts, I left a small odd remainder in the articles to be closed out. But I've planned, and hopefully this is okay with Capital Planning Committee, I've planned to take $110,535.75 from the special article balance to pay toward the capital assessment. So that includes repurposing that former article, that prior article on the HVAC platform. So it includes repurposing that and putting it back into the whole thing. Now that said, I have had a couple of informal conversations with the school district, and it is possible that they might be agreeable to pulling off the basketball court resurfacing and the parking lot repairs and restriping project. They think that they might be able to do the basketball court resurfacing internally using some funds that they have. And with a little help from highway, they might also be able to do some of the parking lot, or they may be able to help demolish the basketball court surface. So, that is what we're looking at there, in which case, if we pulled those two things off, we'd have a balance of, we'd have a balance of $15,535.75 that we could leave in budget revenues to fund another part of the budget. It's a small amount, and we could possibly do something with that.
Margaret,
Yes.
why 15? If you had 5 and you're taking 25, shouldn't it be 30?
5. No, because I still have the 25 in there. Michael, because the school district hasn't voted to remove those yet. My discussions have only been informal so far.
Oh, I thought you were saying that if you removed them, then. So
if we remove them, we remove them, yes, the 25 will be.
Okay.
25 will be added.
How did you get to 15? I guess I missed that.
How do we get to 15?
I thought you just said that you would.
Oh yeah, the reason.
The total.
the reason.
I made, okay, no, forget it. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, because they're asking for more than we're actually funding from this source. That's why. So.
Gotcha.
Okay, and then the final one is the Highland Commons capital contribution. This will be closed out to the new capital stabilization fund. So there's a remaining balance in there of $4,341.16. And so we'll look to close that out to fund the new capital stabilization fund, adding $100 to that from free cash, and the seed funding for capital stabilization will be $4,441.16. Does everyone agree with these numbers based on your last meeting?
They look appropriate to me.
Yeah, no, that, can you just take me through the assessment from the capital
Oh,
assessment?
capital assessment, yeah.
Yeah,
So
that one, so the 120,
That's their total, yeah,
that's the total assessment?
yes. And we're only planning to use prior capital funds to fund $110,535.75 of that 120,000.
Okay.
Okay, and so that's what we're planning to use. If we take $25,000 away from that 110,500, I'm sorry, if we only fund the 95,000 from the $110,000, okay, so let me just do that.
Gotcha. Okay, I got it now.
Got it?
I
Okay,
see.
good.
Yeah. So I was looking at it as a starting balance. That's really the
Yeah,
totals of the 3 projects we had there.
that's
The
correct. That's
HVAC, the basketball court, and the driveway. Yeah, okay, I'm good.
right. Okay, all right, good. All right, so we all set with that then?
If they don't take the basketball court and the driveway resurfacing, then we're $5,000 short on their 120, or we're $10,000 short.
Yeah, 10,000, yeah, $9,500 short, yeah. We'd have to,
For where that would come from?
yeah, raise and appropriate.
Okay. Okay.
It would be raise and appropriate, it would be, yeah, taxation. So, but I do think I'm getting the sense that those numbers might come off, okay? So hopefully we'll be in good shape there.
Great.
Right, so that is that sheet, and I will send it all to you in PDF, just so you have it before town meeting. Was that, or do you want to go through the 2 articles on the town meeting warrant next, just to match up everything, or?
Sure, why not?
All right, so I'll get the town meeting warrant. Yep. Okay, there's the capital budget. So the total amount in the capital budget grid is it's been revised. The total is $376,200, combination of Highland Commons Public Safety Mitigation Funds, and then that chunk for the parking lot of $205,000. So the total is $376,000. Okay, so you've got 5 items on the capital budget. Now,
Yeah.
A question came up right after we posted this warrant. Someone asked, what parking lot? Because this doesn't say the parking lot address. And so Mary has added a Q&A on our website, and the motion will address the motion will state the address of the parking lot, that it's the town offices. All right. Barry, I can tell you the moderator's not a fan of the capital budget format, so I don't know how long this will stick. It's on for this town meeting, but I think he might end up asking for different motions under each of these numbered items in the capital budget. So just be prepared for that, but I'll try to keep you posted as we move forward. And then the other one is the establishment of the Capital Stabilization Fund. There are the 2 sums right here, the $100 and the 4341 from the Highland Commons Capital Contribution Account. So that's exactly what's going to be asked for in the motion, to establish the stabilization fund, which by the way takes a 2/3 vote, and to fund it with that seed funding. Okay.
Got it.
Okay.
And that is, anybody have any questions on that?
It looks pretty straightforward.
No, that's pretty straightforward.
Okay, so those are your two articles. All right,
Okay.
I'll shut it down and we can go back to talking, and I'll stop talking. I'll stop talking. I'm done.
Janet, that's it? That was so unexciting.
I'm gonna mute myself. Oh, believe me, last night was plenty exciting to last me for a while.
Oh, it wasn't exciting. It was just intense.
No. Did you follow your script? Okay, so
Don't ask.
I
thought the script was going to take longer than the rest of the meeting.
yeah, it's quite a script. So either of our guests, any of our guests, have things to say? Somebody want to speak up, raise their hand, whatever that.
I would love to just introduce a potential coming project and let you know it's kind of something that's been left out of public safety's capital planning for a number of reasons, and I just kind of wanted to fill you in on it. I know John's intimately familiar with our capital needs after all the discussions we've had over the last couple of years. But one thing that we've left out of our planning for public safety has been our radio system. The reason being is we had hoped and planned that it would be funded through our regional dispatch center. And so just to give you a little background on our system, there was a gentleman who worked for, as a member of our fire department when the public safety building was built and long before, and he actually designed and installed our radio system. So significant savings for the town and did a very good job. I mean, we're lucky, we're getting close to 20 years operating on this system, and it's really done well for us. Unfortunately, it's been almost 20 years operating on this system. Our technology is extremely antiquated. And as I had said, we had hoped to move forward with a regional radio system and work through the dispatch district. When we joined the dispatch district, that was one of the initial conversations. And since we joined around the same time as Bolton, the plan had been that a grant would be applied for Bolton's radio system, and then the following year a grant would be applied for Berlin's system. Unfortunately, we ran into some issues with the regional dispatch and management at the center. And the original grant that was applied for Bolton and the radio company that developed the plan was a system that they couldn't implement. They hadn't secured tower space. There were a lot of things that they hadn't done. So they actually received a $271,000 grant, and those monies have yet to be spent. Fortunately, we have a new director. Things are moving much better, and we have a new radio company, and Bolton is moving forward soon with construction and spending that $271,000. So you would think that would have been good news for us, and now it would be our turn to apply for the grant. The vision changed a little bit on the radio system, but also the grants changed. And now they are not, we've tried over the last couple of years to get additional funding for the district for radios, and the state 911 will no longer fund it. So that's kind of leaving us a little bit in a lurch. So we have a lot of projects and things going on in this town. There was a change in the building code that require now these commercial developments to do radio testing for public safety and install equipment in the buildings if it doesn't meet certain standards. So I'll kind of leave the name of this community partner out, but we've been working with a particular community partner, and we're kind of in some negotiations now to finalize things to receive a $350,000 grant towards our radio system. So the gift would allow us to possibly start the project, and that's why I kind of come to you that it would be something that's actually a capital project. But the total project could be upwards of $500,000. We could be looking at a larger sum. So Margaret and I have had some discussions. Chief Clark and I have talked quite a bit, and we're looking at some alternative sources of funding because this is something we don't want to have hit the taxpayer or tie up a lot of the public safety mitigation funding. So as we move forward in this year, actually in the next few weeks, I should have an estimate for the system. They're drawing up those numbers now, and I will get that to you so you can see it to kind of account for it on the plan. However, there's some community compact IT grants that are available over the last couple of years, and last year in particular, they issued 2 municipalities grants for public safety radios, well over $100,000. So that alone may be enough to close the gap. And I have also been in discussion with some of our other community partners for the possibility of some additional funding. Because what happens is when they construct these commercial spaces, they have to do their testing, and the systems that end up going into the buildings to boost our signal, in some cases cost upwards of $100,000 per building. So it can get very expensive for the builders, and it doesn't do anything to benefit us when we leave the footprint of their building. So we have some tough areas of town. We truly believe in, with the radio vendor we're working with, that with some upgrades to our equipment that we already have, and adding an additional radio tower site, which is where the bulk of that $350,000 in funding would go, we would eliminate the need for at least one of the projects to utilize this additional equipment. And also in talks with the town of Hudson about relocating radio equipment to the water tower at Highland Commons. And that could be a significant benefit for the construction projects at Highland Commons as well. So the hope is that it won't be coming to you at any point saying we need to, figure out how we can fund something. But I just want to know this is a substantial project, and is actually a capital need as we move forward.
Tom, does this primarily benefit Berlin only, or does this tie us into or allow us to tie in with other municipalities more easily? I remember the regional dispatch and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, so as we're planning this, that's the vision, and that's the hope, and what will really give us the chance at the funding through the Community Compact IT grant, that we're going to build a system that mirrors Bolton. And currently, the way our system works, not to get super technical because I'm not super technical, our radios, you think we're using radios, we push the button, we talk, and it travels over the airwaves. But it does that to the tower, and then it travels over copper phone lines. So it really limits our, and that's old, antiquated technology, which, by the way, could go away at any time. Verizon has told us these lines are going to go away at some point. They just haven't given us a drop dead date yet. So what we're planning on doing is creating microwave links. So the microwave links would link us to Bolton and then link us directly to the dispatch center. It would allow other communities to then link through our system to create a regional radio system, but also to hopefully reduce some of the expense, not only for us by taking away those copper lines that we have to pay for, but the district we pay for. I defer to Margaret maybe, but I think we were close to like $60,000 a year in fiber optic cabling fees that we have for the district. The microwave signals that we would utilize would eliminate some of those needs for the fiber optic loops that we have to transmit all of our data to the dispatch district as well. So there could be some savings on all ends, as well as a regionalization or future regionalization efforts as well, to try and create that true regional radio system that we're looking for.
Gotcha.
Well, so that is all.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you.
Sounds intriguing. I guess something we'll just keep an eye on, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And when I get the numbers, I will give you the numbers, so it's something that we can track and plug into the plan. But like I said, I hope that if and when this expenditure comes forward, that it's not going to be something that's going to have to take up, tax dollars or much mitigation funding if we have to push mitigation funding towards it.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you for prepping us.
Thank you. Thanks for giving me the time.
Thanks, Tom.
Okay. Chief Clark, do you have stuff to share with us, or are you just hanging in for the ride?
I'm hanging in for the ride. But just want to, again, like the chief said, I want to stress that communications interoperability, and John hit it on the head. It's a regional approach. So that's good for a lot of different aspects and a lot of the things that we deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Great. Yeah.
I have to give the chiefs credit. Chief Galvin has been giving me updates just about every day on how things are progressing with that, and he's looking at all kinds of grant opportunities, potential revenue generation in the future, things like that. So he's really taking a broad look at how to get this done and make it beneficial for the town in the long run. And I know Chief Clark's been involved in the conversations too, so I appreciate the work they're doing on this.
I would assume this is a system that could be used by both departments, fire and police.
Fire and police, and depending on how we expanded things, we would possibly hope to tie in the highway department as well.
Cool.
Great. Okay. That sounds like a good plan.
Steps forward.
Anybody else have any other, our next agenda item is to discuss future meeting availability. And that's the end for us. So anybody have nothing exciting?
Nothing exciting.
Ooh, this might be the shortest meeting on capital planning record.
Shorter than our meeting last night for the finance committee.
Sounds like that's a good thing.
Yeah, but if we average the two meetings together, it makes them both. It makes it reasonable.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks, Tom.
Okay, so I'm going to make a motion that we plan on a meeting in a month, which is sometime around the, I don't have a calendar. Oh, wait.
7th.
Office, well. Yeah, but I don't know what today is. So 4
Today's
weeks.
May 7th,
Today's
May
a-
7th.
May 7th.
It's
1, 2, 3,
it's the
4.
4th or the 11th of June if you were looking for a Thursday.
Yeah, why don't we, can I suggest we meet on the 11th of June, which would give us a couple of weeks prior to, yes, Margaret.
The only issue with that is the board is having a coffee talk that night. I wouldn't be able to attend both meetings simultaneously.
Well, then let's back up to the 4th of June,
June.
because we have to have Margaret. We cannot.
Oh,
That works.
last
Okay.
minute town meeting planning. Woo-hoo.
Right. And Margaret, there is a pre-town meeting prep something. Could you review that for me?
Yes. What night is that?
Yeah, I think
Is that, wait a
That
minute.
is the 4th. That's the 4th.
Oh, okay, that's the 4th. Okay, so I guess the 4th
Yeah.
is taken too.
okay. So then the 18th, that's the Thursday before town meeting.
Oh. I'm good.
Okay.
That works.
The pre-town meeting and budget forum, we're going to be going over all the articles, and hopefully we will have settled on what's going to go on with the FY21 budget. So the capital planning committee will have an opportunity to speak about the capital budget and the establishment of the capital stabilization fund and any other things that you'd like to discuss.
Great. And that's the,
The 4th. Mary, what time is that at? I'm sorry.
Uh,
Losing track of meetings here. 7?
I have it as
Oh, it's-
starting at 7. Yep, on the
7.
4th. Yep.
It's probably going to be a virtual community. It's probably going to be a virtual meeting, so.
I can share that with all of CPC because it's already booked as a Zoom meeting.
Okay,
And then
great.
the 11th is not a Zoom meeting. It's the 11th.
It's probably going to have to, we're going to probably have to do something with that.
Oh, that was MVP. All right, we're holding that anyhow. Oh, coffee talk. What,
Coffee
and that's
talk.
virtual as well.
I think we're going to have to plan for it, yeah. Because who
I'm going
knows
to book
what's
the
going.
18th for CPC right now at 7 o'clock. Okay.
okay. That would be
Thank
great.
you,
7
Mary.
o'clock on the 18th.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
So 4th and 18th for June, and I think that's us. That's the end of us. Anybody have anything to add before I call it?
We're good.
Good. Okay, so we're adjourned. Now it's 7:39 p.m. It is definitely